What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Joshua here today, back with the Impact Over Income show. And today we have an amazing guest who goes by the name Royan Nidea. Am I pronouncing that correctly, Royan?
Yeah, it's Royan.
Yeah,
You got it
Royan.
right, bro.
Yeah, okay. So, Royan is a LinkedIn specialist. When it comes to LinkedIn lead generation, he's a very, very expert person at that, and it's someone that has one of the best virtual assistant agency in the Philippines. So, I believe him coming to our show today is going to be able to shed more light on what he does, who he is, how he got started, and some other cool stuff like that. So yeah, Royan, how are you doing today, bro? How's everything going?
Everything's great, man. Thank you so much for having me in your show. I've been seeing the effort that you are putting into your LinkedIn, and I'm very impressed about it. I hope as well that a lot of people gets to get motivated and inspired in what you are doing. So I'm happy to be here, bro, and happy to add value to your journey as well.
Thank you so much, bro. I really, really appreciate the compliment. So just as not to waste so much of our time, because I know you're very, very busy, you have a lot of things you're doing. I just want to just start by asking how did you get started with what you're doing right now? What's your backstory and how your journey began? How did this all start? Curious to learn more about that and our audience also.
Well, that's such a fascinating question, right? Thank you so much for asking. I started doing what I was doing about 4 years ago. I had an opportunity to work for a company who offers coaching and mentorship program. And bottom line, my main responsibility was to help the coaches that was part of that company acquire clients. And since these coaches are business coaches, startup mentors, I started dabbling around LinkedIn and started, kind of like, seeing what I can get from it, because one of the few things that we need to do to market is to understand where our target customers are spending most of their time. And I thought, okay, if the target market are founders, business owners, then they've got to be on LinkedIn, right? So I started playing around LinkedIn a lot of times. I've experimented it, tested it, used it for my own lead generation, up to a point where I was able to somehow, let's say, formulated a step-by-step process that if, especially a coach, technically that doesn't matter as long as their audience are on LinkedIn. But in this case, that time, it was for coaches in the business industry. It's gonna work because it's very simple. It's proven, and it's simply leveraging the power of reaching out to as many people as you can, but not in a random scenario, but in a strategic way, because you're reaching out to a target customer. So I've spent few years with that company, and then I've decided to just start my own company, because I realized that there's a lot of opportunity in the market, especially after this one time where someone reached out to me. So he was also a coach. He's based in the UK, and he asked me if we can kind of like collaborate in a project where I help him acquire customers for his consulting company, for his consulting business. He would provide a service, obviously, and that was the first time I experienced providing or implementing this process, this system, to someone who is not part of the company that I was working for, and it worked perfectly. And after that, I just thought, man, if it's gonna work to any coach out there, then it's a business that I can just kind of like build from ground up. So, and that's basically the short story.
Wow, that's an amazing story too. So I just wanted to ask just a follow-up question. That company you were working for, was it like a business coaching company?
It was more of like an accelerator company. So there's a bunch of coaches in that company, and what they are doing is looking for startup founders who's looking to raise funding, who's looking to launch, who's looking to scale. So yeah, it was a coaching company, but it wasn't just for one coach. There's a lot of them, and their hands are full with all of the stuff that they are already doing. They don't want to do the marketing and the sales side, and that is why they hired me to help them with that.
Were you just like the only person doing that, like the marketing and sales side?
It was kind of like just me at first, and then I started kind of like building my own team around me. Um, and that's where it all started basically.
Oh, that's amazing to hear. So, guys, I hope you guys, you're gonna be taking notes as soon as you get this video. You see his journey is very, very intriguing. You notice that you have the skills, the marketing now to really get results for his clients, and he decided to just leave the company and just start something amazing with what he's doing. Because there's something I noticed from your content. It's very, very. It just has that kind of brand feeling and just that genuine connection with your audience. Because um, some people what they focus on their profile is just they just post strategy, and sometimes people information is out there, right? And most people get tired of just hearing just a strategy, just try. Some people just want to hear like your journey, some of the mistakes you made, what you're feeling personally, so that they can connect to you on a very personal and emotional level. So, and that's one thing I see that you do very well in your profile, and I want to just say keep the good, keep it up with what you're doing, Royan. Okay, so I just want to just ask. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, so I just wanted to ask the next question. So when people are trying to get started on LinkedIn, because I just came on LinkedIn about I think 2 or 3 months ago, because normally my own expertise is more Facebook. I came from a Facebook background, right? So using Facebook groups and connecting people through Facebook. So that's mostly how I get clients. But I was just intrigued about because I was hearing people talking about LinkedIn, and like LinkedIn is this, LinkedIn is that, LinkedIn is this. So I just okay, let me just try out the platform, and I was blown away because I found out that it's even easier to get clients on LinkedIn than Facebook. You can get clients on Facebook quite okay, but the way LinkedIn is structured is it's very easy to get across your target audience very fast, and you can easily build a relationship with them ASAP. So I think LinkedIn is a platform that is just getting started, and I think it's still going to go very, very fun, go very, very big. So having people like you really showing us the way on how to leverage the platform is really something that I think a lot of people need to really listen to really grow their business in addition to what they're currently doing at the moment. So what do you think people should do when you're just getting started on LinkedIn? Maybe as a business owner or as a coach or as a consultant, I just got started on LinkedIn. What do you think are some of the things that they need to do just getting started there?
That's true, man. I do totally agree with you when you said that LinkedIn is just getting started. And you also mentioned that you experience getting more clients faster on LinkedIn. That's also true. But if there's one thing that I would like to share in this conversation is that you have to understand first where are your clients spending most of their time, right? And like a simple example is that if you are reaching out to students, then most probably they're not going to be more active on LinkedIn. So that's just one thing that you like right off the bat. There's of course this conversation. What is the best platform out there for marketing? There's no like every platform is going to work. So the first thing that you have to understand is, okay, where are your target customers? Where is the market spending most of their time? And you go all in on that one. So that's the first insight. The second one, to answer your question, is like, what is someone needs to do to get started on LinkedIn? It's obviously creating your profile and creating it in a way where it's going to look like almost a landing page, right? So a lot of people out there, when they create their profile on LinkedIn, they look at it in a way where it's more of like a CV or a resume. What you want to do is to turn it into a sales page. So you can even forget about your website for now if you like. You can start with just, when I started my company, I didn't have my website. I mean, first of all, creating an amazing profile on LinkedIn is not going to cost you anything. It's just putting in the work, kind of like, adding some creativity. If you're not that, I mean, I'm not that creative enough, so I do get insights from the people around me, what kind of like, is good to look at. Also, at the end of the day, though, you kind of like have to follow what you feel is nice, but just take that time. So it's kind of like, it's totally different when creating a profile on LinkedIn is totally different from like really making it captivating and like, by ask yourself a question, and this is like a big insight, okay? If someone search for your name on Google, one of the first thing that's going to show up is your LinkedIn profile. So you have to think it, you have to work on your profile in a way where you're going to ask your question. If someone search my name on Google and my LinkedIn profile ends up showing up, are they going to be impressed with what they're going to see? Right? And you just don't stop until you can say that, man, even I am are so impressed with my work. You know what I mean? That's kind of level of commitment. So don't just create that profile, make it look so amazing. And in terms of visual, that's number one. And then number two, work on the messaging in a way where there's only two questions that you need to answer pretty much. And if your profile can answer that right off the bat, then it is serving the purpose that it's supposed to serve. And that is who you are helping and what you are going to help them with. Right? What is the result or the transformation that you're going to bring to them? And if your profile can answer those two questions right off the bat, when someone looks at your profile, then it is serving the purpose that it needs to serve. And this is such a basic or common advice that you would get from people who specialize on LinkedIn, right? Optimize your profile. I mean, it's just common sense. It starts there. The reason why this is also the first thing that I would recommend is because once you optimize your profile in a way where you can say that your customers or potential clients or audience are going to be captivated, it's going to give you that feeling of momentum. It's kind of that winning feeling that you can say, if I reach out to people now and they look at my profile, I'm going to feel good about it because I know they're going to be happy about it. You know what I mean? Now, at the same time, I'm saying, like, make it as good as possible, but do not also confuse that statement with perfection, because progress is always what is more important. It's kind of like saying, done is better than perfect. So that's the first thing that you need to do. And to support that context, you have to have an idea of who you want to help and what is that one thing that you're going to help them with, to help you out with your messaging, with the visuals. But and it's a process too, right? It's like you're not going to get it first time. Like, your profile is going to get better and better. Like, I probably optimized my profile. It's kind of like one of the habits I do, actually. I probably optimize my profile once a month, because things happen, right? You grow, your business grows, you realize things in the marketplace, and it needs to show up in your profile. So you start with your profile and you go from there, because you're going to get a lot of impact or results once you optimize your profile.
That's amazing. And there's something based on what you said. There's something you said. You said when you search Google for your name, your LinkedIn profile will come out first. And I actually tested that because I noticed LinkedIn is quite different from other platforms I've seen. It's quite different from Facebook because it's more of an SEO based platform. Because I noticed, for example, if you put content on LinkedIn, at the instance you put that content, you might not see a lot of views on it. But over time, you start noticing that it starts increasing and increasing because people are searching for certain keywords and they are seeing your content. People are searching Google, they might see you and check your profile. So I think LinkedIn is more structured in such a way that it's kind of like a search engine kind of platform, so that people can always see you and see what you're doing. And you said something very profound. You said you need to really look at it from like a prospect eye, like this thing I'm doing.
Yeah.
If I was my prospect, would I be proud of what I'm doing? Or if I was my dream client, would I be proud of my brand? When
Absolutely,
you see,
man.
yeah, so when you see it from that perspective, like, okay, maybe I need to improve this, I need to improve that. Or you could just, even if you're not sure, and maybe you're not that kind of a person, you can just reach out to maybe a few people in your network. Or the way my profile is structured, is it compelling enough? Or you reach out to experts, maybe like yourself, and just say, the way my profile is structured, is it compelling enough? And they can give you some step-by-step guidance on how to really use your profile. And just like Royan just said, he said, know who you are helping and know how you're going to help them. So let's say, for example, I want to help someone lose weight. I can just say, okay, I'm a weight loss coach that helps busy moms lose weight through a
Exactly.
certain framework. So when you say it that way, it makes people like very curious to, wanting to learn more about losing weight, because it's something I learned from marketers like Russell Brunson. I don't even know who Russell Brunson is. Have you ever heard of him before?
I know him.
Okay, so he's the founder of ClickFunnels. He says,
Definitely.
yeah, he said,
Yeah.
so he said, you need to market your brand in such a way that is, it speaks to the audience you're trying to target, but also makes them curious. So it's not like you are giving them everything about what you're doing. You're just giving them like a snippet of what you're doing, so that makes them
Yeah.
curious to want to learn more about your brand and your services and so on and so forth. So thank you so much, Royan, for sharing that with us. So I just wanted to just ask a follow-up question. Do you think LinkedIn can work for B2C kind of business
Absolutely,
models?
bro.
Okay, why do you say that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's really common sense that it's going to work for B2B, but I can say that it will also definitely going to work for B2C simply because LinkedIn is at the end of the day a social media platform. It's a social media platform, right? And people spend time in social media. It's just about, and again, it's understanding what kind of consumer are you reaching out to. You know what I mean? Like, I'll give you an example. An executive in a company, right, is at the end of the day a consumer, right? So if you reach out to this executive because you're going to sell something for the company where this executive is working for, then that's like a B2B more approach, right? But if you are going to sell something to this executive because let's just say weight loss, right? Your target customer is an executive that is, busy, so busy with their job, they don't have time to actually, take care of their health. And you have this framework that can help them achieve their kind of like fitness goals with just 10 minutes of workout every day, right? Like that's like a B2C, that's a consumer kind of like market. That's not like for the company, but that's your target customer. It was like the executive, you know what I mean? I mean, it makes sense. So that's what I think is where I'm coming from, and when I say that it's also going to work for B2C. But because at the end of the day, it's the same thing with how Facebook works as well. You can't really say that B2B is not going to work for Facebook. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So it's the same thing. It's the same thing with LinkedIn. At the end of the day, these are social media platforms. I've had this thought for at first that TikTok is something that um, only for B2C or like for kids, for that kind of consumer. But I was definitely wrong, because we can see right now that it is an amazing place for you to also reach out to the B2B people, because it's such an untapped place for you to reach out to them, so you are able to cut through the noise. So that's just where I'm coming from. So it's definitely going to work for B2C as well. Again, it's again understanding where your target customer is spending most of their time. Is that these things are just vehicles. It's at the end of the day, it's not. It's going to be of course, your messaging, your offer, and stuff like that.
It still all boils down to knowing where your target audience hangs out. So if you know that your target audience hangs out more on Facebook, then obviously need to be on Facebook. If you know they hang out more on LinkedIn, then obviously need to be on LinkedIn. Wow,
Yes. Yes.
that is very profound. Thank you so much for sharing. And I just wanted to ask, is there like a limit to the amount of profiles you can view on LinkedIn?
There is some sort of like a limit depending on what kind of account you have. If you have Sales Navigator, you can do like 500 views per day. It's pretty fascinating, right? When I was just starting out, that was like one thing that helped me a lot to grow my kind of like prospects faster. And I didn't know it at first. It was like some sort of like an accident that I discovered it. Basically, when I started using LinkedIn, I would look at profiles, I would get their names, and the website of the founder, and I would use a third-party tool to get their emails. And I do have some sort of like a team that's helping me do this, so they are able to kind of like just view thousands of profiles per month, maybe like 4,000 to 8,000 profiles per month. And I just noticed that my connections were like growing so fast. My profile views were like, increasing exponentially. And then I realized that, oh, okay, when you look at someone on LinkedIn, they get notified that you visited their profile. So they kind of like also gonna look at your profile.
Yes.
And it's how it works, right? So to answer your question, it's 500 a day if you have Sales Navigator. It is definitely an amazing feature that LinkedIn have. So it's good.
Guys, if you're watching this, I hope you guys are taking notes. So you say Sales Navigator is something to really have, really want to
Yeah. Like the strategy, I just shared you a strategy that you can implement. Like if you go to, I mean, there's a better way of doing it now. Like you can use sales, and this is where optimizing your profile is so powerful, because if you optimize your profile and then you create a database of your target customers using Sales Navigator, and it's totally aligned with your profile, it's going to give you some an amazing magic, right? Aside from that, once you have that database of customers on Sales Navigator, you can extract that information, get their emails, their phone numbers, and you can do so much things when you have like, just imagine having a directory of your potential customers. You put in the work, start reaching out to them, sending them emails, sending in connection requests. I don't know, like call them. I tried sending them messages on WhatsApp before. You get a lot of things from doing that. You don't want to do it because you have some funds that you can use. Then that's what helped me really well in terms of growing my business fast, is that I've invested a lot in people. So what I would do is that instead of me doing all of this work, I would like invest in someone, teach them what to do, and they, it's sky's the limit. You can do more. But for some of you, it's just starting out. You just have to, like, if you have the commitment to do it, man, like just think about reaching out. Just think about, well, technically, I'm gonna say this in this conversation. You can send 4,000 connection requests on LinkedIn, and this is despite the current limit that LinkedIn have. Okay, so this is just a secret for everyone. You can send 4,000 connection requests. If you can convert just 1% of that into leads, so you have like 40, right? Like I'm just being conservative right now. 4,000 connection requests, you've converted that into like 1% of leads, so you have 40 leads. Most probably, it's going to be very sad if you don't get at least 2 to 4 clients from that, from those 4,000 prospects. You know what I mean? Maybe if you have a good offer, you've really put in the work of like, starting a conversation with all of these people, started giving them value, not like, just right off the bat, sell them something. It's going to get you something for sure. Like in 30 days or less, you're going to get a client. That's for sure, man. Like that's guaranteed. If you put in the work, that's guaranteed. It's just, it happens so many times. It happened to me. My first month though, I only made $200, but when I made that money, that told me that, man, I can make a lot of money from this one, because I was able to do it once. All I have to do is do it over and over again, right? In the second month, I hit 1,000, and then it just went 5,000, and then it went to 10,000, up to a point where it's already making 20K per month. It's with the same process. Man. I didn't have any thing else myself. Now of course I am exploring other avenues, but that's how I started. Just put in the work.
Put in the work, bro.
Put in the work, man.
Man. Just put in the work.
Yeah, absolutely. If you have some funds, again, to get some help, then it's better. So that you don't get burned out. Yeah, like, and this is what my company is solving for. In the marketplace, we're telling them that, hey, this is how you use LinkedIn. But if you do not want to put in the work, then we can just do it for you, and that's what we sell to them. That's what we offer. It's like a done for you service. But for everyone who's just starting out, you can do it yourself, and it's gonna get you money immediately.
That's something that is very, very interesting because you said you can have your offer right, your messaging right, the other part becomes easy. Even selling becomes easy at the end of the day because you're here to just like build relationships. It's not like you're coming to pitch them. But if
Yeah.
like just like you said you should be able to get at least 40 people that becomes leads. And if you're very good at selling, because this is something I always tell people, always need to improve your selling ability. Once you're very good at selling, sales like having sales calls on the phone, and knowing how to persuade people without actually pushing them, it just comes in a natural way. You can easily close at least 50% of those people. Easily.
Yes.
If everything is done.
Absolutely.
So
And the only way and the only way for you to become really good in selling is actually having a consistent flow of conversation with your target customers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you have that consistent flow of conversation with your target customers, you're selling every day, you're going to be so amazing in sales.
Yeah, for sure. My light just went off for some reason. I don't know why. So
that's all right, man.
Yeah, so guys, please I apologize for the light out that just went off right now. So we're going to be wrapping up very, very soon. So guys, if you have everything in place, learn from the right people. If you don't have the time but you have the resources, hire people, hire agencies like Royan. He does done for you services for his clients, for coaches and consultants, really get them more leads, more sales to their business. You can always reach out to him. So let me just ask my final question. Do you think LinkedIn is going to become bigger than the way it is, or you think it's probably just going to become like stagnant or just still? Do you think it's going to become bigger than what it is right now?
Definitely, 100%, man, 100%. Let's just say that it's doing everything that it's supposed to do the right way. It's backed by Microsoft. Like this company is owned by Microsoft. But even if it's not, I think that it's just getting better and better. It's not like, first of all, LinkedIn has been around for like the longest time.
Yeah.
Right? Imagine LinkedIn being able to be around for the longest time, and they weren't really doing very well that time, but now they're like an amazing platform, right? So think about that. If LinkedIn if LinkedIn survived during that time where they were like not as good as it is right now, what more is going to happen 10 years later? You know what I mean? And it's just amazing. It's just an amazing platform. They're putting in the work to make it good, so it's great.
What do you think? What do you think about LinkedIn groups? Because I know that Facebook, they really promote their groups, and their groups are very, very engaged. But from what I've studied from being on LinkedIn for some time, I noticed the groups.
I agree with you. I think there's still a lot of things that LinkedIn needs to of course work on. It's not yet perfect. Even the DMs there's still a lot of glitches. I think Facebook group is still better, but don't stop just by putting. It's just that like if everyone else, I mean, like, and I'm gonna tell you this now. I don't have a LinkedIn group. But just imagine if everyone else is not doing it, right? It's such a blue ocean if you think about it. And I do believe as well that they are going to develop it anyway. So, you know what I mean? It's two things. It's two things. Since not a lot of people are creating groups, it's not yet saturated. If you start now, you're going to be on top. You know what I mean? It's just a little bit harder because it's not that good as Facebook. And at the end of the day, right? I think because again, this is just vehicles, right? You can create a Facebook page or Facebook group. If you're not going to do a good job managing that community, it's gonna fail, right? So it's all about that community management anyway, right? If if this group of people are part of your group and they know that, man, every once a week you're gonna like give them bombs, and it's for like, you know, at no cost, they're gonna look for it, right? They're gonna check it out. What is this guy giving us this week? You know what I mean? So that's such a good question, man. I love that question. It somehow motivated me to create my own LinkedIn group because I don't have one. You know what I mean? I just I haven't thought about it yet. I do have a Facebook group though, but that motivated me to create one. So I'll work on that.
Because our company, our Facebook group, you know, we have almost 70,000 members in our group. So as you said, I was just asking like LinkedIn groups not so engaging, you know, just like crickets everywhere.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Royan, this has been an amazing conversation so far. I've taken more than your time. I apologize. So how can my audience reach out to you if they want to learn more about what you do and maybe would like to get your services? Or like how can they reach out to you?
Oh, I appreciate that. Well, first of all, I would ask everyone to support Joshua in what he is doing. Is amazing. I see the
Namaste.
commitment, man. I love it. I love it. I love it when I see young guys like you just working hard. We're both coming from a third world country, and I know you also want to help a lot of people in your country, just like how I feel. So first, before even like looking for me, reach out to Joshua, follow him on LinkedIn, right? If you feel that you need help with LinkedIn, and if there's anything that I mentioned here today and you want to learn more about that, just search for my name on Google. I'm saying that with modesty aside. Most probably it's going to show, my LinkedIn profile is going to show up, because again, that's how it works. It's not because I'm known or famous. It's just simply just how it works. Just put ROYAN NIDEA. So it's like an N with idea, Royan Nidea, and shoot me a DM, ask me any question. I'm gonna answer it for sure. All right. So everyone, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Joshua, for having me. Always remember, guys, we're not here to build a business. We're here to leave a legacy.
Here to make an impact.
Impact, bro. Yeah, I love your tagline, by the way. Yeah. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you so much, Royan, for your time. I do wish you the best.
You're pushing forward, bro.